Namaste, Grand Rising from Amun D. Mia Moore. Now, I only got this fucking hot ass hoodie on because these bugs, these little black mosquitoes be biting. I don't know where they come from, but they be tearing me up. But I'ma just, I guess, talk and teach now about some mirages that kind of it irritates me because we are our worst enemies in history, and why we need to be mindful and empathetic of our own business first before we keep blaming others for our own demise. Now, we are our biggest enemies. For one, I have some of I say I learned the most from kids and homeless people, or people that they would consider at the bottom, because one thing I know is the person that people look at as at the bottom, they have made mistakes, and they will give you the way, or give you their mistakes and how they made it, or how they didn't make it to where they were. So they'll give you the details both ways and let you make a judgment, good or bad, about how they got there. Now, when you go to somebody who's rich, or one of your friends, or somebody who hasn't experienced what you've experienced, then, or been at a level to understand that there are levels to everything, then they only can give you the experience off of the level that they had. So, for example, if you, well, let's just say you were looking to cook, or let's say you're looking for health or a doctor. Now, Western medicine has never cured anything. Now, you could go to the doctor, they, with one thing that could be a cold, that cold has the same 9 or 10 symptoms as everything else. Now, I know that these doctors and all of this is some BS and it's for money. Now, again, the mirage and the illusion. Now, the ventilators that were ordered, people have a common cold. Like, if you turn on the fan and sleep in front of the fan, you're going to get sick. So, obviously, it comes from inside of you. Now, again, there's no such thing as a virus or a disease. You're programmed to eat like an animal. You would not drink breast milk from your sister or your friend's girlfriend or whatever, but you would drink milk from a cow. But you're a HUEMAN. Well, I am. So if you're not, then I understand why you could drink what really you're lactose intolerant, because everybody is. So then you're doing that and you get a yeast infection. So then everybody has a yeast infection, and you have worms because you're eating like an animal. So then you have worms and parasites in your stomach, and most people drink alcohol, hollow, spirit. If you watch Bleach, then Ichigo is a half hollow, a hybrid. So then you got hollows. Then you have black ministers or black people who learned from the same white people, where you'll put a title over like Democratic and say that, oh my gosh, let me vote for them. How fucking are y'all crazy? They was the KKK before they switched their fucking titles. The Republicans, it's the same shit. All you gotta do is go back and read. Like, just because you switch a fucking title does not mean that you switching anything. Republican Democrats are the fucking same. And then you say you don't want to live in a socialist and everybody shouldn't be equal and all this other shit. What the hell you think has been going on? You live in a socialist place and you didn't even fucking know. Like, you didn't know. There is no money. It's monopoly money. Like, ain't nobody, all this money that people, yes, you're getting a fucking other stimulus. Like, you're getting that. You're gonna be inside of the house getting a stimulus. Congratulations. It's monopoly money. You can just make up writing fucking money. They don't have no gold no more. The dollar don't mean shit. They had that movie that Bruce Willis was in where they stole the gold. They up here tell us this shit right in front. But that wasn't even the stock. We was the stock. So when they tell you about the Holocaust never stopped, and it didn't start with them. It started with us. And never stopped. They just switched the name and ran it through different programs in different places. Just like it's common knowledge that they moved the scientists from over there to over here and gave them the names of people that were supposed to be dead. And then, I ended up being molested and sex trafficking and sex rituals where they used my DNA or melon for the same stuff that they've been using to keep them young. And then they tell you wear shades and sunscreen, and you realize you got melanin in your skin and in your eyes. So when you go to church and the windows are blocked out and they never let the sun in, why would you not let the sun in? Light, want it to be dark inside of a church or artificial light when all you gotta do is let the sun in. But then you're gonna put the middleman in front of the sun with the sun behind him. And anybody been in the street or anything or business knows that you cut the middleman off to end up getting the most pure product. And that's where you would make, or you would get the greatest or most pure out of it. So why would you need somebody middle? So then they tell you that, you are your temple. So when you travel, every time you meet somebody, that's your church, your temple. If you're yourself in a conversation, that's being naked and intimate. Like, we got to start using our language the way that it was supposed to be used, and then it wouldn't be offensive and we would understand. And I don't like having conversations with woke people because then they think it's a competition about being smart when it's not. Because 9 times out of 10, you're not that smart if you're still putting titles over a person's color when we're in a whole new fucking age, a spiritual age. So you would know that vessels and spirits exist. So then spirits are choosing vessels or in vessels. So you don't know what spirit is inside of a vessel. Just because it's a color or something don't mean that that's what's inside of that fucking vessel. But ain't that what your Bible says? Like, and I never read it. It's in me. Like, I unblocked my DNA. Like, it was blocked for a reason. Like, I'm an ascendant, the son, the S-U-N. And this information I give for free. So, essential is you. You are your church. Every time you meet somebody, you represent that. So if you're representing your church by negatively scamming people and doing all the stuff to try to propel you or step on somebody's neck or back to get ahead, how can you sit up here and you want to get mad about the same thing they keep showing us? Every time we figure out a way to come together, they throw up some race shit. Like, you racist and call KKK, whatever, Donald Trump, MAGA, but the KKK was the Democrats. They the ones that fucked up Black Wall Street. That shit wasn't Donald Trump. Like, what the fuck? It is 13 fucking families that got all the fucking money. They the ones. Donald Trump had his own fucking money. He was a businessman. He got hired to run a business. All the rest of these motherfuckers went to the same fucking schools and was in a party. So if they're partying and going to the club and drinking and vicing and doing all types of shit that they not supposed to, rituals and shit, do you think that because they did that shit before, just because they get into a higher political thing, that those relationships just end, those friendships when their fucking fathers were in the same shit? Like, no. It's just, they just throw any color, man. They put out Terminator and shit, and then they got people going to get chips. What the fuck you think is gonna happen? They gonna use the fucking chips to do all this shit, and if you can't recognize energy, then you're already fucking damn near dead. Cause you don't know what the fuck a spider sense is tingling, or you don't know how to recognize a fucking fake handshake, or the signs or the patterns of fucked up shit. And I'm not gonna give you all that shit, because that's the shit that helped me get and survive, and it's gonna keep me surviving and keep me evolving and beating this algorithm of the game of life with the wheels of fortune. Like, y'all motherfuckers, like, this shit is gonna get scary. Like, they made movies with like Godzilla and shit like that. You don't think that shit is coming? And y'all thinking about a fucking election. This shit is revelations. They already revealed who the fuck they was. I don't want to reveal who the fuck I am. I did this shit to help. Energy don't leave. Energy is always here. I'm always gonna be here. This shit is tough. This shit is painful. The gift is, when you're a master 22, like, the gift, yeah, you're a master teacher, but you also have karmic cycles of DNA that you have to complete from all cycles of fucking pain. And the greatest pain in our history is generational curses and secrets and scamming and using our own culture and then blaming it on somebody else. When we put materials over our own natural fucking gifts. So if somebody goes to a school to learn something, that ain't fucking natural. Natural is something that you really born with. But when we're born with shit, we're told that shit don't exist, or beat into them so that it don't exist. Like, we beat our kids like slaves, but then get mad when somebody else fucking does it. Like, I used to get beat till I fucking bled. Motherfuckers sat around and knew. Wait till the vulnerable times where get out the shower or wet or be naked and lay down and be scraping the fucking ceiling with whatever it was until I bleed, and then want to hand the fucking phone, be like, you want to call 911? CPS, obviously, no kids belong to no parents. If you got a social security number, they belong to the state, the same as everybody does, except the people that don't, that know, because I'm sovereign, and we all are, and that's what the fucked up thing is. None of these laws is for us, so we don't have to follow this shit. That's why everything is open back up. You don't have to wear no fucking mask. You don't have to follow those rules. They can't do shit. Like the National Guard, Donald Trump ain't trying to fucking stop. When you see him say open up and all, he's saying open up for business. When you hear them say decline and go, they're trying to shut the shit down because we're the stock. And they don't want us to fucking realize that we're the fucking slaves that they've been getting rich off of at the bottom of the fucking pyramid scheme. And he's like, fuck that. We don't need that shit. Let them fucking work. Let them live life. Let them be essential and enjoy their friends and fucking family. But you take these two sides that blame one fucking person because it's a 2-on-1. The gang stalking. Like, come on with that shit, man. Shit is some bullshit. You don't have to like him, but what the fuck I got to do to lie to y'all? Like, shit ain't fucking helping me. Now, I see spirits and vessels. Now, Michelle has, those ain't her kids. Like, y'all could look the pictures up. Those kids aren't theirs. And she ain't never had no kids. And I know a man's spirit inside of a woman's body. And you can't find no pictures of her with those kids or carrying the kids or nothing. And there's nothing wrong with anybody that sexual orientation, but it's something wrong when you're tricking everybody to believe that. So when they want to parade her for fucking sorry ass Joe racist Biden, then everybody's gonna fall for that dumbass plan the same way as they fell for her husband who ain't never grow up around no niggas. But y'all fall for that shit. But if he was around, you would be like, oh, he's a wigger, or he don't fit in, or he's mixed, or he's. But oh, you give him a president, he can shuck and jive and sambo some. So now you want to think that this man is the second coming of somebody whose name and J's never existed on the walls of a period, on a pyramid. So be the own hero or Heru of your timeline. And then you will start understanding. Or look for the book of Enoch. Because I am Amun Ra, but I don't say the Ra, I just say Amun Di Me Moor. Because we all are Moors. The Moors taught everything. That's not saying nothing to put nobody down. We gave y'all knowledge. We taught knowledge. Knowledge is free. Love is free. Like, the language of love is free. It's passion, it's aggression. As long as it's light behind dark or anything, it is love and passion. And the language of love, our language, our native tongue, using the back of our tongue. English is made up of a bunch of shit. Like when you take a bow or you take a bowel movement, that's a shit and it's blocking your gut instincts. So you decalcify your third eye when you stop with the bullshit being a fucking animal and be Huemane, humane. Namaste.